Hey, hey, hey.
Hey!
It's Brink of Sanity, episode 7. I'm Jay, and with me is Bry.
Hi, Jay.
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
how's it going, everyone? This is our 7th episode. I think we got a big show tonight, so
Lucky number 7.
exactly. So let's get a few things out of the way real quick. We
The
removed,
advertisements.
yeah, we removed episodes 1 and 2, so they are now our lost episodes because we lost them on purpose because they stunk. So don't email
Lots
and
of
ask what
negative
they are.
feedback. A lot of negative feedback on those.
Right. Plus, the downloads went down a lot after the first episode, and we knew it stunk, but we figured people would, listen to the first couple before they made a decision. But that wasn't the case.
Apparently not. Yeah, no.
So now the first episode you're going to hear is the third episode, and that's a good one.
That's the Valentine's Day Massacre one, if I remember correctly.
That sure is. So don't email and ask where it is because it's gone, and I'm not going to let anybody else listen to it. Uh,
Chances are you're not that anxious to listen to it anyway. It's just a bunch of boring introductions of who we are and all that stuff, and you'll figure out who we are as time goes along.
We always come on with absolutely no plan, but that time we came on with no plan and just miserably failed.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know what
There's
happens. One of
got to
the
work out the kinks before you get everything get the wheels rolling.
exactly nobody's first episode's great, but nowadays you don't really get a second chance. So
Oh.
just threw it in the garbage. You can Skype into us. The Brink of Sanity is the screen name. We record on Wednesdays between 8:30 and 9:30. But what we forgot to say is that it's Eastern time.
Yes,
So that
a lot
was
of people from California looking for us.
exactly, and they all came on 3 hours early or late. I don't know how that works.
Late, yeah, late.
3 hours late, and didn't work out. Uh,
Nope.
the Brink of Sanity at gmail.com. That's the email address. And
And that is the only way that we will take any advice or suggestions or complaints and actually work on them. I've gotten a few what we like to call informal critiques of the show, things we should do, things we shouldn't do.
doesn't count.
But we, Jay is like the email Nazi here, so anything you want us to change or not change or keep or get rid of or do, whatever has to be submitted in writing via email, or else we're just going to say, fuck you, stick it up your ass, we're going to do things our way. So if you want something changed, email us or leave us a message on our cute little voicemail thing, and Jay, you could tell them the number because I don't know the number.
Which I don't know the number either.
Oh, all right.
Figure it out.
It's a toll call.
Yeah, you have to pay for it. No, the number is. No, actually, I really don't know it.
641 something.
Yeah, okay.
You could see it on the Libsyn site.
Right, I was just about to say thebrinkofsanity.libsyn.com. The number is actually 641-715-3900, and then the extension is 95391 #. If you didn't get that, go to the website or rewind this because I'm not going to say it again.
And that website again is the Brink of Sanity, all one word. Libsyn is LIBSYN .com COM. And you could all the information is there at that website, and you can go from there. And so, like I said, if you have any critiques, criticism, comments, questions, anything, segments you'd like to see us do, topics you want to hear us talk about, topics you want to hear us not talk about, you want to register to be a guest sometime with us, email us.
We also know
Because Jay thinks I'm making it all up when I say that people talk to me about the show.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced.
I actually am making it all up. There are no people. I have 30 computers that I download the show to, and that's basically all our downloads.
Every time somebody goes to lunch at work, you download it on their.
Yeah.
How it is. I was wondering why every single download was from Connecticut.
The same IP address, yeah. Oops.
So we also happen to know the answer to everything. So if you need advice, we have the answer. So just ask us a question, answer it right up the next episode, done. Problem solved.
I've actually been told once by a lovely young lady that I give the best advice of anyone she's ever met. Because I don't bullshit people, and I don't tell people what they want to hear. I just say what I think, how I feel, and what I think the situation needs.
There you go.
So whatever, money advice, love advice, financial advice, legal advice. Should I go right or left? That kind of stuff. Write to us, call us, Skype into us, and we'll answer your questions and solve your problems for you. We can't solve our own problems, but we could solve yours.
We're very good at being critical about other people.
Yes.
Ourselves, different story.
Very good armchair quarterback.
Exactly.
Maybe you could give us advice. How's that? We could work out like a system where we straighten out your life and you could straighten out ours.
Somebody already gave us the advice to pull the first 2 episodes, and it's done.
Yeah, that was actually good advice.
Yeah, it's great advice.
I don't know. Was that in writing, though?
I'm going to pretend it was.
All right.
Let's just say the numbers spoke for themselves.
The ratings.
And last but not least, give us a vote on Podcast Alley. And
yes.
When you vote, you get a confirmation email, and you have to click on that, or the votes don't count. But I'd like to thank everyone for voting this month, everyone who did. We are about
20th.
Yeah.
20 in comedy, as of like 10 minutes ago.
We're actually 63rd overall, which is much better. Last month we were like 170th.
Not bad. We'd be in the NCAA tournament if it was being held. There's only 65 teams in that.
65? Doesn't even add up.
Well, there's 64, and then there's like 2 shitty teams play the night before the tournament starts, and the winner gets to get their ass kicked by the best team in the thing. It's kind of a scam, but...
See, we really do know everything between the two of us.
Yeah.
Bry's got random 65th team facts. They're hanging out up there. I'm actually.
What?
I was gonna say I'm actually surprised we were 170th last month, considering 2 out of our 5 episodes were shit. But we got nothing but good stuff this month, so.
We were that high?
170th? Yeah.
Wow, pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not bad for a new show.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I don't remember.
Yeah, probably relevant anyway.
Probably, yeah.
I got a question for you, since you know everything.
Okay.
Making out. All right?
Yes. No, I will not make out with you, if that's the question.
That was not the question.
Okay.
That's for after the microphones are turned off.
Okay.
The phrase, I don't get it. What does it mean? It doesn't make sense. Making out. You're not making anything. Nothing is out, except maybe.
Well, things could be out. If it's good making out, there'll be things out. Nipples, penis, that kind of thing.
That's not making
testicles.
That's not making out.
Well, while you're making out, your hands roam and you unleash, bras and buttons and zipping, all that stuff.
Yeah.
At least if you make out the way I make out.
I think you might have your own unique style of making out.
Well, sounds like mine's more fun than yours.
I'm not arguing that point. Still, I don't get it.
I will do some research into the term making out, and I will have an answer for you for the next show.
Good. I will submit the question in writing to our email address.
Yes, please do. And all you people out there who maybe you know part of the answer to that, you could email us and save me some painstaking research.
All right.
Or you can listen next week and hear the answer.
There you go. Cliffhanger. We're all about cliffhangers on the show.
That's right.
So there is a conspiracy against me at work.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good conspiracy theory. Is it related to the people who play 9/11, or is it just a small conspiracy?
I think it's its own separate entity.
Okay.
Organized specifically to take my basketball team down.
Oh, it's a rival basketball team.
No, it's my own company. People within. We got taken down from within. And
you don't play basketball anyway. You blew out your ankle.
That is true, but I wanted to play at some point, and our basketball team is now banned from life from the league.
Why?
Because of this elaborate conspiracy.
Well, who do you think's behind it? You sound awfully paranoid. I want to hear some flimsy evidence that will make it sound like there's a real conspiracy.
All right. Well, I'm getting laid off in about 3 weeks.
All right.
So each season's about 3 months. So I passed on the whatever you call it, captainship.
Did
The
you say each season's 3 weeks?
3 months.
Oh, 3 months. All
I
right.
might have said 3 weeks, but it's 3 months.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, I passed the title of captain along to some other guy who's on the team because I figured having a captain who's not even working there anymore is kind of weird.
Yeah, who do you guys play? The same people from your work or other offices?
It is either other companies who started a team or just like a group of friends who decided to start a team.
Okay.
So it's random.
Yep.
So I gave the title of captain to this other guy, and all you have to do is email this one girl and say the cost for the team this season is blah blah blah. I need the check, blah blah blah, and that's it. They write the check, they send it to the league. You're in, you play. So I get an email uh, Friday, which was 3 days before the season was supposed to start, from
Mm-hmm.
that kid saying
Mm-hmm.
they're not funding the season this season.
Okay.
I've been doing this for over a year and no problem.
Maybe because your team is terrible. Is your team terrible?
We made the playoffs the last 2 seasons, so I mean, we didn't win, but we're not terrible.
Maybe because they know that you're not going to be around for the whole time, then they don't want to.
They don't want to have a company team without me.
Yeah, something like that.
Sounds a little far fetched.
They don't want to have ex-employee on the team possibly getting trade secrets from your office for
So then
your
kick me off the
diabolical
team.
scheme to.
So then kick me off the team.
Well,
Still happy.
maybe the person in charge of your place is a rational thinking person who realizes that basketball is one of the dumbest sports ever invented, and that's why there's no team anymore.
You seem to know
Maybe
a lot about college basketball for a guy who thinks
maybe
basketball.
he came out of his coma and said, "Basketball? Why am I wasting office money on basketball?"
It's only $1,900 every 3 months.
Maybe instead of having the team, they could afford to keep you on for another 6 months.
Apparently, they decided to do neither.
You don't sound very nervous or anything about getting laid off in 3 weeks.
No, because what I do is not think about it until a week before, and then have a massive anxiety attack and crawl up in the fetal position on my floor for.
That's the procrastinator I knew.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yep.
But I didn't even get to the conspiracy part.
Oh yeah.
So I call up the guy who I made captain, and I was like, "What do you mean they're cutting the funding? This, I've done this for a year, and there's no problem." And he's like, "Well, they said no." And I said, "Who is they?" He said, "A couple people." And I said, "Well, I need a name. Tell me who said no." I'm like, "You didn't just make it up. Somebody told you no." And he's like, "It was people." He would not give me a name. And I'm like, "Well, what'd they say? How do you know that they're not going to fund this?" And he just goes, "Let's just say it's not going to happen." And I was like, "All right, you want me to call up the league and say some people who I don't know said that there's some reason that we can't have a team, but I don't know that either, and that's supposed to fly with the league." And he's like, "Well, that's all I can say, man. That's all I can say." So I had to call up the league and tell them, like, for no reason, that we're not going to play 3 days before the season starts. And the guy, like, flipped, and our company is banned for life. A little shady.
Banned for life.
Banned for the company, banned for life in the league.
Why? Because you didn't pay?
Well, because it was 3 days before the season and we bailed out. So, we were already in the schedule, and he set up all the matchups, and, there's a bunch of stuff.
I'm sure your company won't have any trouble finding another lazy, fat white guy basketball league to play in New York City.
This was a big one. I don't know. All the other ones are like, beer leagues. This is, I guess kind of like a legit one. So, I don't know. Pretty shady, though. He wouldn't even give me a name.
I think you smoke too much pot. I don't think there's any conspiracy theory or any reason to be paranoid with that. But that's just me.
You don't think it's slightly suspicious that he wouldn't give me a name or a reason?
He didn't want to rat anybody out.
Why? Why not just say, "Oh, blah blah blah," said the funding isn't there? Like, you know, I don't get what.
Maybe he forgot to do it, and he didn't want to give a name and then have you call him up and they say, "Oh, no, no one ever came up with that."
Well, then he's a pussy.
Maybe this guy came out of his like alcohol-induced coma and said, "What the fuck are we playing basketball for?"
You like that line, huh?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So I emailed the girl I usually get the check from,
Yeah.
and I got an email back from some other girl that I have had no correspondence with before. With this snotty ass email accusing me of telling the league we're joining without getting permission from HR, and everything has to be pre-approved. And it's really like condescending email where I've never had to do any of that bullshit before. So that furthers my conspiracy theory.
That's just a big corporation HR office. They're just a bunch of stupid cunts. I think they own everything and control everything.
I don't know. 5 straight seasons, I had no problem, and then all of a sudden, I'm getting all this bullshit.
That's right. Didn't you blow your ankle out so you can't play anyway?
Oh yeah, it's still destroyed. 7 weeks later, it's still swollen. So I probably wouldn't have been able to play anyway. But I would like to have had the option to play, like, next season.
Maybe they are having the team and they just didn't want you on it, so they came up with this elaborate team to make you think that there's no team.
I think your counter conspiracy theories are stupid.
Mine's more believable than yours.
What are you talking about? I got facts. I did some sleuthy work here.
I'm not sure where the facts came from, but okay.
I got all these emails. I got maps.
Maps.
Yeah, I had friggin' maps with little pins in them showing the locations where all these calls took place. They all center around the same building.
Presumably your work building.
Well, yeah. How do you think I tracked it down?
Oh, yeah. So Jay is now on the lookout for a new hobby since his basketball fun league got canceled. And
Oh, I found one.
you found what?
a hobby.
Oh, what's that?
Eating.
Oh, that's a pretty good one too.
It's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
It's
What are you eating? Anything good?
everything.
Everything? Sweet.
Mexican, Indian, Italian, Thai, Cuban, Polish. It's a good thing about New York. You can eat everything. There's even an Ethiopian restaurant. I haven't gone there yet because I didn't know that they actually ate. Apparently, they
I
have
think
a
you
restaurant.
eat dead Ethiopian people at those restaurants, I think.
Could be. They just put a bowl with like one dead maggot. This is all we eat.
Ugh, barf.
We
Could have done without that.
2 grains of rice and a half a pea. This is all we eat. What's the problem?
Cup of dirty water.
Cup of dirty water with a bowl of mud. I don't know. Somebody told me it was good, but that person also does a lot of drugs, so I don't think I trust them.
Probably the same person that told you to go to that Mexican place where you got the runaround, huh? Or
Wait.
whatever. Was that Mexican or Indian? I don't remember what it was.
Oh, that Indian place where they tried
Indian,
to
yeah.
upsell me on everything?
Yeah.
Those complete bastards. I put the review on after I ranted about it in that episode,
Yeah.
and the guy wrote a review for himself on top of mine and gave himself 5 stars.
What guy?
The guy who owns the place, he wrote a review for himself. I went on there today, and he wrote, like, "Thank you for coming to my restaurant," and he gave himself 5 stars to, like, negate my, like, 2-star rating.
Yeah, the guy's a business owner. What do you expect him to do?
I don't know, run a proper business.
He's Indian. He doesn't know anything.
Not be a complete piece of shit.
The guy probably does Dell customer service 10 hours a day and then comes and runs that restaurant. Give the guy a break. Just don't go there again.
I'll give him a break.
Throw something through his window. That's all you gotta do.
just want to go in there and destroy everything.
Just go back and eat something and then throw up all over the place.
Eat some of his $7 rice. Well, we already went over that story.
Yeah. If you want to hear that one, go to episode, was that 4, 5, 6?
Who knows? We have so many episodes now.
Alex was in that one, so I think it was 4 or 5.
5.
What's it, 7?
Yeah.
Oh, we made it to 7. Let's see if we make it to 10.
We're cruising now. We're burning on all cylinders.
Oh, yeah. So what else is going on? Any other conspiracy theories or just that one?
No conspiracy theories. There was a guy who I wanted to attack on the subway the other day, though.
Physically attack or verbally?
Yeah. No, I wanted to just destroy this guy. He's sitting down, while the subway's moving, he's sitting down, and then it stops at a stop, and he stands up, but he doesn't get off. So for some reason, he decided to go from sitting to standing up, which I normally wouldn't have a problem with. But he's one of these uncoordinated fools who can't stand up while the train's moving. So the second the train started moving, he started falling everywhere. And for some reason, he wouldn't hold on to any of the railings of the bar. Maybe he was like you, or he can't touch any of that shit.
Well, that is a serious problem.
But he fell totally backwards at one point and reached out and grabbed this woman's purse and held on with all his body weight to not fall.
You don't do that in New York.
No. And then, the train started stopping, and he started falling in the other direction, and he almost took out this Asian girl. And I was like, please fall on me, watch what happens.
Should have kicked him down.
I was going to slam him to the ground if he started falling into me, because he was being such a fool. And he took out 3 sets of people before he finally got off at that. Only one stop. He stood for one stop, and he almost took out 3 different people. Obnoxious. Every time I tell a story, there's total silence on your end. You don't really.
I'm absorbing it all in. I'm sorry.
I know these stories are mind blowing, and you need to recover from your.
I'm taking it all in, and it's I'm trying to picture it and sort of visualize the whole scene, and I can relate to the guy if he doesn't want to touch the dirty handrail or anything like that, but
he could have stayed seated like a normal.
I guess so. Was he far? No, I guess he's not far from the door.
No, he was
There's
right
a door every 1.5 feet on the New York subways.
Exactly. He just decided, I'm not bothering anybody right now. I would like to create a scene.
Maybe he saw a hot girl and he got up and he was going to try to be all smooth, and then he realized that he was a moron and didn't know how to talk to girls.
He was like a 40-year-old man. And he should have known how to stand up by this point. Function as a normal human being.
Maybe he was drunk.
That would have been funny. But he wasn't uttering anything strange.
Well, he might have been alcoholic drunk, not drunk in the middle of the day drunk.
Drunk as in I drank away all my equilibrium brain cells.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to be there to comment on it. I'd have to really... If you could call the MTA and get me a video of that.
He was a sober idiot, and that was the end of the story.
Oh.
I've lived with alcoholics before. He was not one of those fools.
All right.
Raging alcoholics. You have no idea.
I just saw a trailer for a movie coming up that really just annoys me and makes me want to throw something out my window and smash things.
Really?
Yeah.
Must have been a really exciting preview.
It's that stupid. Fuck, I don't even remember what the title was because I wasn't paying that much attention because I was listening to your story. But that stupid, the Ultimate Fighting movie or whatever, where it's
I was just making fun of that right before we recorded.
They take one of those dancing movies where they the underground tough kids dance each other, and then instead of it's Ultimate Fight, it's Ultimate Fighting is probably the stupidest thing out there, and then you're gonna go make a movie about it. If I wanted to waste my time, screensaver. If I wanted to waste my time and watch something really retarded, I would watch Ultimate Fighting. And if I wanted to watch something like extra really retarded, I'd watch a movie that's fake about Ultimate Fighting.
See, I really like Ultimate Fighting, but
Oh God,
how
this
can you not?
podcast is over.
How can you not? Like,
It's the fucking stupidest thing. And oh yeah, it's like it's the new Dave Matthews Band, Jay. I can't
no,
believe that this podcast is over. I'm not talking anymore.
you don't like you don't like boxing, right?
No,
Okay. I don't know. I think it's what can I say? I'm not going to win you over by putting in any arguments, so I'm not even going to try.
I'm very surprised to hear this.
Yeah, no, I think it's good.
So you're gonna go watch this gay movie, then, aren't you?
Hell no, no. I think the movie is the worst thing ever. It's first of all, they know nothing about Ultimate Fighting. They tried to make it look like a pit fight, like a Fight Club type of thing. They're all like fighting in a dirt circle with like no ring and just people huddled around watching. It's like
The problem is, I could see like this being the number one movie of the weekend because like 16-year-old high school kids are like, "Yeah, man, I really like UFC. I'm gonna go watch this movie," even though it's fake and choreographed.
you know what it takes to be the number one movie? Film.
Uh,
That's you got to
the
come out
lowest,
on
you have to appeal to the lowest common denominator.
yeah, just come out when like a Will Ferrell movie's not coming out and number one movie. It's not hard anymore.
Not really. Well, all you have to do is remake a movie from the '80s and have like, I don't know, some annoying flavor of the month person in it with like a catchy phrase, and people are gonna go see it.
Pretty much.
Any movie that's, intelligent and witty and smart, it's gonna get blown over and it's gonna get labeled like artsy or something.
Yeah, any movie that I've wanted to see has been out of the theaters before I even got to see it.
I can't remember the last movie I saw in the theaters.
I can. I'm not even going to say it though. It's bad.
It's been a while. I think the last movie I saw in the theaters was The Kingdom.
Never heard of it.
It was okay. It was Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman, and someone else. They were like It was set in the Middle East. It was like a special ops movie. It was okay. It was pretty good actually. I don't remember why I went to see it, but I did.
So it was like Three Kings with a different title.
No, not really. They went to sort of Three Kings was good.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. No, they went to like some guy got killed, and they were like an FBI team, and they wanted to go look at it, but like they're in like a war zone, and they're getting attacked and double crossed. And actually, it was pretty good, but no, it wasn't like Three Kings because Three Kings they were just out to get some money. They were sort of trying to solve a crime and all this stuff, but.
All right. If you people are listening to this right now, don't download episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I pulled them, but the site didn't update yet, and we just got another download for episode 1, which is another person who's never going to listen to any of the other episodes ever. It's ridiculous. I was trying to pull it as quick as I could. Foiled again.
Oh well, we don't want to listen. We don't want their point of view listening to us anyway.
Yeah.
They're probably big Will Ferrell fans and Adam Sandler fans and Dane Cook fans.
Ridiculous.
All that intelligent humor wasted.
Pretty much. So I was, I don't know, I was doing nothing, and I ran out of stories. That's what happened.
I went bowling on Saturday with a friend of mine, and she was like, she calls me up. She's like, "You want to go bowling?" And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Really? I didn't think you would." And I was like, "Well, you caught me. I have nothing else to do." And she's like, "Cheer my friend up because like she just fucked some guy, and he said he was gonna call her, and he didn't." And I'm like, "Oh, great."
That warrants having like a posse come to cheer her up.
So, I don't know.
Maybe she shouldn't be a whore.
Well, I mean,
I know you don't want to say shit, and I don't know who this is, so I can go off.
No. This was like, I think this girl just wanted to see me, and she needed an excuse, and she was out with her friend because she had asked me like a couple days earlier if I wanted to go, and then she sprung this on me at the like the friend on me at the end. So I was like, whatever, fine, Beats sitting around here. So we go bowling, and this girl is like the definition of awkward. I mean, just completely like, I'm talking to my friend, and like she's just like saying random like, she'll take a word that I would say like. She asked me about the podcast. She was having trouble downloading iTunes, and she's like, "So how's the podcast going?" And this girl, she goes, "Oh, I have an iPod." It's just like random, like completely random and awkward, like just and like she's telling me about how she's known my friend Sue since they were like 10 years old, and I'm just like, I don't fucking care. And she's like, "Oh, I know her sister, and I know her," and I'm like, "Okay, why are you telling me these things?" And then I find out, like, we bowled for like an hour, and then we went to this bar and got wings, and I met them at the bar because obviously we took separate cars or whatever. So we get there, and she pulls me aside real quick, and she's like, "She is so hot for you, like, don't even like she likes you. She's gonna be like embarrassingly like." And I'm just like, oh, great. So every time she said anything to me, I was just like, yeah, okay, that's nice. Like, totally dismissive of her. And then she tells us, she tells a story about how her and Sue, the girl I was with, they were out drinking, and for whatever reason, this girl cut Sue off at the bar, like, wouldn't let her drink anymore. So I was like, oh, you're the buzzkill in the group. Oh, yeah, you're lots of fun to be around.
I hate people who do that.
Yeah,
There's
that kind of ended all that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I was like, oh yeah, you're the no fun one. Oh, I see how it is.
there is no reason to cut somebody off at a bar.
Unless they're driving, but that wouldn't ever happen to you because
No, then you drive. You're gonna be that annoying about it. I don't know. I've seen too many times where people are like that, and it never works out because then you just end up pissing off the person who wants to drink,
yeah, pretty much.
and then everyone's pissed off, and then you go home. There's
Yep.
no, I don't know. That sounds like a fun person to make fun
Well, it
of.
was a night. It was. I mean, it was just so like not what I expected, and I was just like, oh yeah, I can't imagine why somebody wouldn't call her. Yeah, sorry about that.
Probably
So
bore
that's
them.
about the highlight of my weekend. I don't think I did anything else. I finally got furniture in my place. Hip hip hooray!
All right,
My house is now a home. I have a couch and a love seat and a bunch of tables and a couple of lamps.
sweet.
And I just need a dresser now, so I don't have to throw my clothes on the floor in my closet. We're getting there.
I had a roommate who did not do laundry the whole year I lived with him. And he would just throw his socks and underwear in the closet and his t-shirts in the closet and buy new ones. So by the time I moved out, it was from the floor about 4.5 feet high by the time I left, which was dirty laundry.
That's nasty.
Sure was. I think
I
I
just,
lived with the three nastiest people of all time all at once.
well, you didn't have my freshman year roommate. He was pretty nasty.
Oh, yeah, he was. I, I was next door to Bry, freshman year of college, and I could smell his roommate. With the doors closed, I could smell him from next door. Out of control.
I basically only slept in that room. I was never in that room if I didn't have to be.
He had a girlfriend. How does that work?
He had a girlfriend and I couldn't get any girls. That was just like such backward logic.
He had a under the chin beard, which just makes no sense. Also, he had like one of those where you shave your cheeks, but you
Yeah,
let it grow
that's
under
a
your
disgrace.
neck,
The beards,
like
yeah,
down.
that's just like the neck
And
beard.
yeah, the neck beard. He just had a beard running down his neck into his chest, and he smelt god awful. I've never even smelt something like that. It wasn't like armpits or like bad breath. It was, I don't even know. It was like bum. That's what it was.
Bum. I
It
don't
was
remember what. I don't know where it came from, but it was just bad, and it got worse.
Yeah, he had some worse days than others. I'll never forget the day he took a shower with his girlfriend in the guy's bathroom, which is, like a communal thing. And you just didn't do that sort of thing. Uh, I don't know,
Not in our building.
our building anyway. My
We
roommate
had,
and I,
I bet you half of the third floor from that year are in jail now. They all got kicked out of school. I know that.
yeah. So they're in the shower, and my roommate and I grabbed one of those huge garbage cans, dumped it over into the shower stall while they were in the shower together. They were just covered in garbage, and they probably didn't notice, and they probably used it as soap. They, they both stunk. Oh my lord! I don't get how people smell and not notice.
You think somebody would, if you, like, I always tell people, if I smell, tell me, because I want to know.
If I smell, I know.
I didn't like the kid enough to tell him he smelled, but you think somebody would have told him.
If you could smell it next door, you gotta know.
Even Matt in a wheelchair didn't smell as bad as he did.
And he couldn't even reach places.
Yeah. Well, he
I
didn't
mean,
smell at all. I don't remember, but
yeah,
I don't know. This kid was a dirtbag. Even the kid with no hair. Remember that guy?
yeah,
The kid with the no hair disease, no eyebrows, no hair anywhere.
Michael Stipe.
Man, there were some freaky people in that building.
Yeah, we had probably the most fucked up freshman year dorm. Literally half of them were suspended by the end of the year.
Including you.
I didn't get suspended until
Oh,
after.
yeah, by the end of the year, yeah. Oh, yeah, by sophomore year, I think I was the only one left.
Probably. I snuck back in junior year, though.
Hmm. You were the only one.
Nobody else is stupid enough to get suspended for a year and come back.
Everyone else went on with their lives. You just kind of hung out and
Exactly.
counted down the days.
I'm good like that.
Yeah, well, it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Going back to your boring girl story. I went out with the most boring girl on the planet.
No, you didn't. No, not at all. Because the most boring girl on the planet used to work at the radio station with us.
You know, if you told me that that girl and the girl I went out with were sisters, I would totally believe it.
Maybe they were.
It
All
was
right,
one.
tell me about your boring girl. I want to hear this.
Okay. First of all, it was one of the typical MySpace. It was on Friendster, which is the reason
Oh
I
God.
deleted my Friendster account.
Is
She
this
was.
recently? Is this like?
This was. This was 2 years ago, but
Oh.
I bring it up now because she called last week again.
Uh-oh.
She calls every couple weeks, and I have never called her back. I usually don't even answer the phone, but she calls from one of those blocked numbers, so sometimes she tricks me into answering. If
Okay.
if I apply to a job and like I'm expecting them to call back, she'll catch me sometimes. And then
Sneaky.
she's just like, hey, and
A show.
her name was Melissa also, just like the radio station one.
Oh yeah, that's her name. I couldn't remember her name.
Yep, both Melissas. Something with that name. Just I have not run into a Melissa that hasn't had a serious problem. I don't know what it is. Anyway, she had the
Did you
typical,
date a girl named Melissa?
and she had serious problems.
Oh yeah, she was like straight and then not straight and then.
Yeah, we're dating, and then one day she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm gay now, and then a year later, well, I'm straight again. Just kidding about all that dyking out. A year later, she's gay again.
I just had to munch a box.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta munch a box.
Sometimes.
So this girl had the typical MySpace Friendster picture where you reach your arm as far away and as high above your head as you can
See episode 6 rant on MySpace pictures. Go ahead.
to hide your double chin.
Yeah, and it showed the cleavage too.
Right. Yeah, you wear like a push-up bra and you stretch your head up so you don't have a double chin.
But then
Anyway,
you look away, so like it doesn't look like you know your cleavage is hanging out, but
right,
we know you're a whore and that your cleavage is hanging out.
exactly. So I had a feeling between the picture and some of the emails. I was like, I don't know about this girl, but I was bored. I was when I was living, I had nothing to do, and so I was like, all right, we'll meet up. But in the email, I wrote the word friend like 7 times. I'm like, hi, friend, we'll meet up as friends and friendly. Hang, friend out, friend, friend. Uh, friend you later. And so we meet up and we go to Fridays. And this girl is very good at Photoshop. Um,
One of those, huh?
yeah, I mean, she had one huge, long, like, burnt eyebrows.
Bert.
I don't know how long ago that picture was taken, but she was like half the size in the picture. And everything else was also horrible. It was just a horrible, horrible human being.
But
So
she likes you.
I'm like, I said the word friend, so whatever. I'll just, hang out, and you can still have a good time, even if it's with a swamp's pond scum. Um, so we ate. Time to pay. Girl doesn't even pull out her wallet. We're
Uh-oh.
going as friends.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, nice guy that I am, I didn't say anything, and I paid for it. Uh, but the conversation during this meal, she'd just be like, "So what's up?" And I'd tell a story, and like we're doing here, just tell a long story. It's whatever. And at the
Yep.
end of the story, she just looks at me and goes, "Oh." That's the entire feedback for the entire story.
At
And
least
she
she
goes,
didn't say. At least she didn't say K.
"Yeah." And then she goes, "What else?" So I'd say another story, go on for another 5 minutes. Oh, again, that's everything. No matter what you say, oh. So
I can actually relate to that. I'll wait till you're done and I'll tell a story about a person I know. But I can relate to a situation sort of like that.
so then, I was like, all right, I'm not going to say anything and see what happens. Girl doesn't say anything. Just looks at me through her furry eyebrows and eats. And so then I was like, all right, fine. Let's go bowling. How come whenever you're with a miserable human being, you end up going bowling?
Because that's like the bowling alley was hell on earth. There was like a kid's birthday party, so there was like all these little shits running around screaming and like there was like 10 open lanes all the way at the end, and they put us in the lane like right next to like the main thing where there's like a family of four bowling and then like a mother and her son bowling, and it's like, look, I fucking hate kids. I just want to be by myself all the way down at the end, away from all the people talking Spanish and Arabic and all that shit. I just want to be down there, away from everything. But no, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh.
I don't have an answer to that. I'm sorry, but it just seems because
See what
bowling
a
alleys.
conversation staller that is? There's no way to like recover from that.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It makes me feel like the answer is not complete, and you're waiting for more.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my story wasn't satisfactory. Well, where's your story?
Yeah,
I'd be like, so what's up with you? Nothing. Oh, with nothing. Those are the only two words I heard.
yeah. I know a girl that I'm not really friends with anymore because if you see last week's podcast, my rant about people who are only friends with you like when they're single or whatever, she's one of those.
Hmm.
And she's a nice girl, pretty girl, just insanely off the charts boring. Like we'd go out and I'd ask her a question, I get like a one-word answer. I'd ask her like an open-ended question and get like a one-word answer. So I'd tell a funny story and she would just laugh for like 35 seconds and then silence. So then I would tell another story and then laugh and like I'd ask her a question, one-word answer.
At least you got to laugh.
And like it was just so and like I actually met her through a friend, or not even a friend, through a bartender that I used to hit on at this bar. She was like, "Oh, I know somebody for you. Here, email her." So I emailed her, whatever, and like we became friends. She had a crush on me, but I didn't like her because she was so boring. Like I just couldn't see myself. I never told her this. I probably should have, but I just couldn't see myself dating her because she was so boring and she never talked. And I mean, I talk a lot, but like I would just test her, and I just wouldn't say anything, and she wouldn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just fill the gaps by talking, and she had a big crush on me or whatever, and I was like, we're not gonna date. I was like, but we could fool around, but we're not like, don't get confused. And she was like, no. So nothing ever came out of it or whatever. But and then she'd get a boyfriend. I wouldn't hear from her for 6 months, and then she'd call me and she'd be like, oh, let's hang out sometime. And stupid me would be like, okay. And I'm like, oh, you're single again, right? Yep. All right, here and the same cycle over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But now I see on her MySpace page that she's expecting a child, which fortunately isn't mine. So her life is over. I probably won't be hearing from her anymore.
Lovely.
Hopefully she's not listening. I don't think she would be, but
Yeah, I'm just waiting for some of these people to listen.
if you're listening, the reason that we never went out, and I used to tell you, is because I live with my parents and I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. But the true answer was because you're so boring that I really couldn't see myself dating you. So we'll see.
And for me, besides looking like the Swamp Thing, you didn't say anything except "oh."
No, never mind. If I tell that, it'll definitely give it away who it is, and I want to give it away.
Whatever you're doing, stop it.
Sorry, I was telling a story.
No, no, no. Your voice was freaking out again. Your
I think I just hit puberty.
audio. Um, yeah, so then we went bowling, and of course the girl stunk because she stinks at life and everything she does. So, I beat her by a lot. So I gave her like a 100-point handicap for the next game, and she ended up bowling like a normal spastic human being instead of the worst person on the planet. So she ended up winning the second game, and this is the first time she said anything else other than "oh." She goes, "Oh, I won. What do I get?" And I go, "You got to pay for bowling."
So yeah, I would have said the bill.
And she goes, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, pay for bowling." And so then she goes, "Oh." That's what I call a fun sponge. You say something like "fun," and they just absorb it, and you get no reaction back.
Yeah. That's a good word. Fun sponge.
Yeah. That's our word of the episode.
It might be, yeah.
So, Fun Sponge now wants to go to a bar / like dance type place. So I'm like, oh, this should be fun. So we got there.
This is the same night?
This is the same night because
you did. You stuck through dinner, bowling, and then a fucking dumb damn.
I was.
Boy, you were trying to get laid, weren't you?
No, not to friggin' fatten her. No way. I was.
You should have had a bailout phone call ready after Fridays. You should have went to the bathroom and called somebody and said, "Call me in an hour and get me the hell out of here."
You know what? I hadn't been bowling in a while, and I enjoy bowling. I didn't know she'd want to stop after the second game. And the bar was actually a really fun bar, and I thought maybe there would be like normal human beings there. So
hope you didn't see anyone there.
No, and you know what? The way this girl doesn't say a word, they wouldn't have known I was with her anyway. Mm-hmm. So we get to the bar, and I'm like, "All right, what do you want to drink?" She goes, "I don't drink." I'm like, "Great, no chance of friggin' getting you to loosen up."
Oh yeah, Miss Boring from my weekend. She doesn't drink either because she has epilepsy. I don't know what the connection is, but.
Yeah, people say like, I could have fun without drinking. And I'm like, well, I can't have fun without you drinking because you stink. So then, of course, the DJ goes back and forth between live music. Then the DJ comes on and plays either techno or hip hop. So I am allergic to hip hop, and I refuse to dance to it. I've tried to pretend liking it, and I'm done with it. I'm not even going to pretend to even try and like it anymore. I sit there with my arms crossed and wait for something else to come on.
Yep.
Every Sean Paul song sounds the same.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who sounds like he has a cold. And I'm not even going to get into it. That's a whole nother fucking episode. And that Little John song brings out a primal rage in me like nothing else.
I don't know that one either.
It's the one where the guy says "yeah" the entire time, and Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle made fun of it, and everyone thought it was so funny.
I hate Dave Chappelle.
And so, I would only dance when the techno came on, but of course, Boring didn't like techno and only wanted to dance during hip hop.
It's
So,
not boring. It's fun sponge.
fun sponge. So I was like, all right. She's like, you look like you're tired. She couldn't even like get herself to say you're bored because I'm the worst human being possible.
You look like you're bored out of your skull.
And so I was like, yeah, I want to go home. She's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, oh.
Oh.
And she doesn't go to the car. See, I parked, um, so, like where I knew how to get home, and then she met me there and she drove because that was like near her neighborhood. So now I'm stuck at this bar, depending on her ride to my car, and
Uh,
she's not making a move to the car. So then like 5 minutes go by and she's like not getting the hint, and I'm like, yeah, I think we should probably get going. And she's just like, oh, still doesn't make a move for the car, and I was just like, you have to get in your car right now. And she said, oh, and finally waddled over to her fucking car. Worst night ever.
that's a rough one.
Yeah, that was my evening out with Fun Sponge. And
So she's been calling you lately, huh?
I thought I looked miserable enough. Apparently not. She IM'd every time I came on. And she has like 4 instant message names. So it's always like I'd get an IM, just be like, hi, oh, it's me, Fun
Oh.
Sponge. Oh, she even does it on IM. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Oh, working on a new YouTube video. Oh, like would a normal human being say like, what's the video about?
Oh, it was
Or
almost as bad as K, but not quite as bad.
it depends how many times you see it. I was getting pissed off. And then the calls would stop, and I'm like, all right, I finally did it, got rid of this person. And then like 2 months down the road, I'd get another call, and then like one time. I was out and she calls up and she goes, oh, I'm in Union Square. Do you want me to come over? I
Yeah.
was just like, what? I was like, no, I want you nowhere near my apartment. I don't want you knowing where I live. And she's like, oh, so you don't want me to come over? And I was like, no, I really don't want you coming over.
I can't imagine a reason why I would want you to come over.
She's like, well, call me sometime. I'm like, oh, yeah, totally. I'll totally call you. 2 months later, I get another call. Well, I miss talking to you. It's like, oh, you miss saying oh to me? I'm like, well, I can't talk right now. She's like, all right, give me a call. Oh, yeah, I'll call you right away. 6
I'll call
months.
you as soon as I hang up with you.
Yeah, 6 months go by, get another call. This has been going on for years now. It's actually been more. I was living in Long Island. This had to be 4 years ago. Still calling me. 4 years.
Wow.
I know I'm irresistible, but get a clue.
Mm.
She's gonna hear this and just show up at my door with a knife.
I still chase after people I talked to 4 years ago, but they at least talk to me. They don't just say, oh.
Yeah, I'm sure you say more than oh yourself, so I
Mm.
mean, it's not as psychotic of a situation. And it's not like I've ever called this person ever. Not even when we first hung out. It was all her doing. Ridiculous.
That'll teach you.
Yeah, I deleted my Friendster account. This site scarred me for life, and I'm never going on it again.
Friendster's gay anyway. It's
Sure
as
is.
bad as all those MySpace, Facebook. I deleted like half my friends since last week again. But that's because I'm not friends with anybody anymore.
Yeah,
People are,
really.
people are assholes and they just, I don't know. Not going to get into it.
Why not? We already did that last week. Our
Yeah.
Shit episode.
Shit for Friends. I love that title.
I did too. That's a good one. Nobody understood the how the first episode was called Shawkward because it was shitty and awkward. Nobody seemed to.
Awkward's a perfect way to describe the girl from last week that we were out with. That was just like a... I tried to we were at the bar and like I got wings and they got food or whatever, and I was like, the waitress dropped the bill off, and like nobody reached for it. It was just sort of sitting there. So I said, hey, why don't I said to my friend, I said, hey, why don't you come out to my car for a second? I said, we'll be right back. And she goes, why, where are you going? I was like, oh, we're just going to stick you with the bill. She goes, no, that wouldn't leave with me and leave her with the bill. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that either.
Nice.
Yeah, some people just don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't know. People just don't get life. It's not that hard.
No, really isn't.
So, let's go over the contact info one more time.
Oh, yes. It's been a few minutes now. I would think we should do the plugs.
That was actually a pretty long rant.
Yeah.
Show's almost over, folks. So, let's see what we got. The Brink of Sanity at gmail.com.
That's the email address for complaints, questions, comments, concerns, and anything you want us to actually do. Because if you unofficially say it to me or Jay via our personal IM or email, we're not going to listen to you. Did we ever get any email from last week?
We did, actually.
Anything worth reading on the air?
Let's see. This is...
Oh, we'll finish the plugs. We get the email Q&A. The Brink of Sanity at gmail.com is the email address. Vote for us at podcastalley.com. Just go to comedy and search for Brink of Sanity. We're like number 20 or something like that. Vote for us, and when you vote, you have to send in the confirmation email. They send you a confirmation email. You just click on it, and then your vote counts.
Takes like seconds.
Yeah, exactly. If you have that kind of time. And our Sanity, or just Brink of Sanity?
The Brink of Sanity.
.libsyn.com. That's sort of like our blog site where we'll post like news updates of what's going on, and you can download the episodes there. You could see the voicemail number if you want to call and leave us a voicemail. You can leave us comments, all that shit, all that exciting stuff. I'd like to know that someone's actually listening out there.
And Skype.
Skype, that's right. We record the show on Skype because we're not sitting next to each other in a nice radio studio. If you want to Skype into us Wednesdays, usually between like 8:30 and 9:30, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later, depending on our schedules. The Brink of Sanity is our name. Give us a call. We could conference you in, and you can talk to us. The only stipulation is that you have to vote for us on Podcast Alley. So if you missed how to do that, rewind 45 seconds, and you'll hear me talk about that.
And voicemail.
And the voicemail, yeah, that's on the Libsyn site. I don't know the number. You have the number. I don't.
Yeah, just check the Libsyn site.
Just check the fucking site. You're not going to call us anyway.
Right.
Prove me wrong.
Prove it. Advice column.
That's right, advice. I know everything.
Bry's got the answers.
Between the two of us, we know just about everything. Prove it. Ask us something.
You'll be surprised.
Yep.
All right, so email. Let's see. This is a long email, so I'm just going to go over the high points. This is from Jen. Thank you for the email and voting and, just being...
Jen is a faithful listener. She gives me a lot of informal opinions about the show, but I'm glad she finally wrote in, and she's going to get mentioned on the air now. Thanks for the email, Jen, and enjoy listening to this one. I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Regards to our brief political rant from, what was it, last week?
Yes, the politics rant.
She totally agrees with the rant about Obama. He's done absolutely nothing. The majority of voting Americans tend to jump on the bandwagon. Clinton has experience, knows how to get stuff done. She liked it. It goes on from there, but,
I'm sure, yeah. Me and her have discussed politics before, and I figured she was probably on board with what I had to say. You also have to remember, though, with this, the fact that Obama's winning because he has more votes or whatever, it's only like half the country that's voted because it's only Democrats. So, independents and Republicans, they don't get to vote in the Democratic primaries. So all these people that think, oh, well, Obama's just going to run away with it because he's got all this momentum and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's only registered Democrats who have voted for him in the states. And he hasn't won any of the important. All the states he's won are the states Republicans win in the election anyway. The big states: California, New York, Ohio, um,
Texas.
Texas, Pennsylvania. Those are the states. Well, not Texas really. But well, Texas is a big state, but Democrats don't ever win it.
Right.
But all the big important states that the Democrats win, Clinton's won. So I mean, you want to win the shitty states and nobody cares that you're not going to win in November, then vote Obama. If you want the important states, then, vote Clinton.
Pretty much. All right.
And if you want an old man who's going to die 2 years into his term, vote for McCain.
I heard a rumor that he was actually born right outside the country.
Yeah, I heard something about that too, but I don't really care. Guy's got no chance of winning. He's a fucking maniac.
Yeah, he just wants to battle people more. I love how these old people who have like no kids that are going to go there and they're not going to go themselves are all for battling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Fuckers. All right, so I guess that pretty much wraps up this episode. We're trying to keep them a little shorter.
Even though we had only unofficial comments about the length.
That's why it's only a little shorter.
If we had more energy, we were going to do 4 hours just to spite everyone who said the show was too long.
We might still do a marathon episode just to fuck with you guys.
Yeah.
Unless we get an official email.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do Power Hour and then see what happens.
Some Saturday night, we'll just get really drunk and go on the air.
Yeah, exactly. Turn on the mics and just go to town.
We should have no, I don't know how we could do that. I'd like to do a live show on Power Hour with you there, me here, and see if we can get people to join in with us. Also getting really trashed, coming on the air like in their own spot, like everyone's drunk but in separate spaces.
We can do that, actually.
Yeah.
We'd
have to get people.
Well, these are a couple of my ideas. All right.
Okay.
So, I want people's feedback. Email us or whatever. Any of that shit that we listed before.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you think. There's the Power Hour idea. Also, a live show. We can do a live webcam show where we each have a webcam, and one of us is like a picture-in-picture. So it'll, one of us will have the smaller screen, but you'll see both of us, and it'll be live, and you can see us like drinking or whatever. And also, when you do that, it'll be through Stick'em. The first 6 people, I believe, that sign on with a webcam, you'll also see on the right side of the screen. So if anybody wants to do that with us, they can, they'll be on the same screen also. That's kind of like what you said. So maybe a Saturday night or something doing that. Also, I want to see what people think about doing just a normal webcam show, whatever we're doing now, but live with the webcam.
So you could see me nodding off during the show.
Right. You'd see each of us nod off during the other person's story. So
see our and then we can see each other's reactions to our story.
Exactly. So if anybody likes
which would then mean, which also, I don't mean to cut you off, but that would also make us have to come up with better stories to keep each other interested, since we're going to be being watched.
Right. Exactly.
You might want to vote for that one, people.
So give us your feedback. Let us know what you think of doing a live webcam type of thing. We can hook that up probably within a week or two. I think we both have webcams. I don't know how good they are, so we'd have to test them out. Probably wouldn't test it out before, we'd probably test it out before we went on live. But, anyway, if we do that, we'll probably announce it like next week and then go on like the week after or something like that.
Yeah, we'll like to give notice. We're not just going to show up next week with that. Give people a chance to prepare for it,
Well, we
expect
also
it.
want, feedback. If we don't hear from anybody, there's no point in going through all that trouble when I could just as easily, not set all that shit up and, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So let us know, and we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Stay
You're
tuned.
in charge here, not us. We're just dopes talking to each other.
We're like your lab rats. Do with us as you like.
Oh, Houston won again.
Great. Boring team. All right, so we'll be back next Wednesday between 8:30 and 9:30
Eastern time,
Eastern time.
all you California people.
Skype us in. We'll probably have a new co-host next week.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. There's a bunch of people that say they want to do it, and then they don't have their shit ready because I only gave them 114 hours to get ready. So,
Yep.
apparently, after 228 hours, they'll have their shit together. I'm assuming. If not, then it'll just be us. But who cares?
That's fine.
I think we're doing it right on our own now.
Yeah.
So that's it. We will see you guys next week.
Take care, everybody. See you in a week.
All right. Goodbye.
Peace.